So, what exactly happened today, 1.5 hours before the market closed? For those that did not see, there was a sudden drop in Robinhood, in Coinbase, in MSTR. We saw a significant pullback leading into the close. Right, I can pull up Robinhood as well, so you can see that initial drop. I can pull up Coin, so you can see that sudden drop and then the quick recovery. What happened? So for those that did not know, today there was a bill that the House was going to be voting on. So the House will soon vote on a tremendous bill to make America the undisputed #1 leader in digital assets. So to my understanding, this was a crypto bill. But based off of, I'm sure that you could assume how the markets reacted. Coinbase being a crypto trading platform, Robinhood being a crypto trading platform, and of course MSTR being a crypto related Ponzi loop. I don't know what you want to call it. You could assume that it did not pass, right? It says House Republicans voted against attaching a Democratic addendum to the landmark cryptocurrency legislation that would force the Justice Department to release the Epstein files. This is the part that I'm confused, is that there's this whole thing going on with the Epstein files. They did exist, now they don't. And I guess in this bill, they tried to add an addendum that would force them to release the Epstein files. My question, again, this has nothing to do with the stock market when it comes out to the Epstein files. But for all those, why not just release it? Or why not? Why wouldn't have Biden have released it if he didn't want Trump to get reelected? That's the part that I just don't understand about all of this. But I guess there was two reasons on why people were against it, right? The first reason is that they did not like this addendum that was being added. Supposedly, it's going to get revised and voted on once again, because as you could assume, it did not pass. The main reason that a lot of Republicans are coming out and stating that they did not vote or support the crypto bill is that this is a pretty good example. I support crypto, but cannot get behind anything that allows a backdoor for the CBDC. There was a vote to allow legislation to come to the floor that would enable that to happen. Thus, I voted no. Happy to support anything pro-crypto bill, but I will not back CBDC. So then I looked a little bit more into it, right? And it says the Genius Act itself doesn't explicitly mention or authorize a central bank digital currency, the CBDC, but some lawmakers, like Republican Luna, have raised concerns that its language could leave a backdoor for future CBDC issuance or related regulation. For those that don't know, the main crypto bill targeting CBDC this week is Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, which specifically seeks to block the Federal Reserve from creating a digital dollar without congressional approval. So pretty much Congress wants to make sure that if the Federal Reserve does anything, that they have to do it with congressional approval. While the Genius Act would focus on a stablecoin, regulation doesn't directly establish a CBDC. So supposedly they're going to try to revise this, try to not allow there to be a backdoor because they don't want the Federal Reserve to be able to create this digital dollar without congressional approval, is my understanding of it. Now, Trump has taken to Twitter and whatever it is that you want to call it, and has openly spoken about how great this would be for the country. And again, I've said it once, a lot of you guys know that I'm not big into crypto. I'm not a big supporter of crypto. I know that there's a lot of money to be made in all these different markets. The part that bothers me most about this is that Trump is a partner in a crypto platform and is directly invested into crypto. Not just a few million, and we're talking about hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. So directly, by passing legislation because of his position of power, he is enriching himself and his investors. And again, in my opinion, how can we expect to hold these politicians accountable if we continue to allow them to be able to invest in companies or in assets that they regulate? They are enriching themselves. This is just a newer form of insider trading. Again, I mean, let's just be unbiased here. We all know that that is exactly what this is. Yet, nothing is being done about it. It's just insane to me that we live in a world where the person that is in the most powerful position in the world can continue to pass legislation that is directly in his personal best interest and the companies that he is affiliated and invested in. Nonetheless, we did a pretty good job today. MSTR, again with my LPP team, there wasn't crazy moves, but I did a very good job with overbought and oversold levels, I made $2,700 on MSTR. On SoFi, I made a little bit over $7,500 shorting SoFi today. A super clear direction. This one was by far the easiest trade out of the three that I had today, and it was all just due to direction. And then Robinhood, I made a little bit over $3,200. Again, the highs, the lows, the highs, and the lows. For those that have not been keeping up to date with my videos or are not part of my LPP team, my main focus this week and for the next few weeks is every single week with our beginner traders that are part of LPP, we focus on helping create criteria to avoid the unhealthy habits that we have as traders or as an investors. So this week, because of an unhealthy habit that I had, was I wanted to help aid buying or investing in a stock too early, too aggressively. So what I mean by that is that how many times have you entered a position too aggressively, too early on, and then direction goes against you, and then eventually it does recover, but you're already exhausted by the time it begins to recover that you almost just want to get out. So the plan this week is there's nothing wrong with entering a position early, but if you choose to enter early before confirmation of a reversal, which is reversals are what I tend to trade the most, I could only enter with 10%, no excuses. So if I don't have confirmation, the max position I can have for that trade is 10%. So I still have exposure in that position, but it's a very controlled exposure. So even if things do go south, I can quickly cut losses and or I just have to wait until I do have confirmation and then add more when direction is favorable. This helps over trading, but this also helps not feeling as exhausted when taking not necessarily a bad trade, but a trade too early, too aggressive. That's the focus for this week. Again, we have three new focuses that we're going to have each and every single week to help beginner traders help break those unhealthy habits. So again, if you ever want to have access to our LPP live trading sessions, so you can do this all with us, I trade live every single morning right at market open. You don't have to join, but again, if you want the ability to watch me trade live right at market open for 30 minutes to an hour every single day, you'll get access to those live sessions, and you also get access to the A to Z video lesson library that's designed for complete beginners, and the LPP Discord chat as well. I appreciate you guys' time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. It's the second link in the description down below. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.